Alright, welcome back everybody. This is Roy McQueen with NC Tech-lutions, and in this tutorial today we're going to be moving along to talk about jQuery mobile forms. Now, we have been building a reference app to get you some hands-on experience in building a UI, and later on we're going to be getting into Phonegap, but we'll cover that in time soon. So, the jQuery mobile framework supports standard web forms with automatic AJAX handling on compatible devices and with touch optimized rendering for standard form controls. A typical jQuery mobile form will look very similar to a typical web form. The only difference is that your buttons, text inputs, checkboxes, menus, sliders, and slider switches will automatically get rendered as a touch-friendly, rich control. And that's what it's supposed to do since we're building for mobile devices, right? So now that the introduction's out the way, let's go ahead and check out how jQuery Mobile renders the form elements that it provides. First off, let's take a look at the labels. Inside of our code, you'll see I made a divider to separate what we did in our last video. So on your home page of our app, create a button and name it Forms and link it to a page called Form Menu, and that's no spaces. Then create a new page with the ID of Form Menu below everything that we just did in the last video. And create a button that links to another page called Form Labels. And go ahead and create the page Form Labels. Now, the code inside of the Form Labels page shows an example right here. We should always include a label element pointing to the right control using the for attribute. That way, when a user touches the control itself or the label, the element will gain focus. So let's take a look at that. Okay, another thing that we can do is have a field container, which is just an optional label / component wrapper. Now this is just for wider screens such as tablets. The container aligns the labels and form controls correctly and adds a thin border to act as a field separator. Alright, now let's take a look at our text fields. These are our form text fields that are available, and you notice we don't have to specify a data role attribute. You also may notice we have an email, telephone, URL, search, and number input types. These are new in the HTML5 that are very important in the mobile world. So we can have a placeholder on all of our text fields, and in our text area tag, you can specify how many columns and rows. So let's take a look at this. As you see, if we touch the phone number or number input field, the number keyboard comes up. And also we automatically get an auto growing text area, which is, cool. So don't worry about older devices not supporting HTML5 new input types, because every browser will fall back to the basic text field if it doesn't understand that type of attribute. Alright, next up, I created a page called Date Picker. HTML5 has added support for the date fields through input element, but the only thing wrong is to date it's not supported by all browsers. So that leaves us with another solution that we have to figure out. Luckily, we can use the jQuery UI Date Picker widget and also a third-party wrapper to make this work with jQuery Mobile. Now, I know this sounds a little complicated, but relax guys, that's why I'm here, to help you. So first off, go ahead and head over to this site right here. This is the jQuery user interface website. Once you get there, go to the downloads, which will bring up a download builder. That way, we will only download what we need. Now, make sure you only select the Date Picker widget. And scroll down, and right here, you can select the theme, color, and to view it, just do as I do right here. And this is how our calendar will look. Yeah, that's, that's kind of ugly, but we can always, fix it. So look, I'm just gonna go ahead and go with this choice right here. So go ahead and click download, and after it's done downloading, go ahead and drag that to your, go ahead and drag the zip file to your desktop and extract it right there on your desktop. Now inside the folder, go inside the JS folder and copy our jQuery UI-1.10.4 custom file and paste it into our JS folder in our app. Now in the head of our app, we're going to add a link that links us to that file that we just pasted in our app. Okay, now back inside the folder, go into the CSS folder, and we're going to do the same thing. Next, we need to use a third-party wrapper so we can have jQuery mobile support. So let's go ahead and head over to this site right here. Click the download zip, extract it, and copy the JS and CSS file. And make sure to add the links in the head like we did before. Okay, now we all set up. So let's see. So inside of our new date picker page, we just add an input field with the class date input. And if you notice, this acts just like a jQuery mobile widget. We set the data row attribute to date, and this read-only attribute is important. So pay attention to this right here, because without it, when the user touches the element, the keyboard will come up. So by having this here, this stops it from showing. That'll be kind of annoying when the keyboard keeps popping up. So now let's go ahead and run it and see what we get. Alright guys, so and hey, there you have it. You got a slick date picker that will work on all browsers. And that's it for this video. We ran out of time. But in the next video, I'm going to go ahead and pick up where we left off and finish discussing the rest of the form widgets. I'll see you then.